Hello everybody, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're not new. Today we're going to be looking at contour and blush, and this video was requested by one of my lovely subscribers, and her name is Goth Pink Power, and they asked if I could show how I do my contour and my blush. So I'm going to do that. I haven't put any on at all. I haven't powdered my face. This is literally just my foundation and my concealer. And obviously I've done my eyes. I wanted to give a big shout out at this stage to Crow and Pebble makeup brand, because not only do they make lovely things, but they name their things just so perfectly. I've never known a brand to name their products more imaginatively or individually than these. And today on my eyes I am wearing 4 different colours. I'm wearing Pity and Patience, Roll for Stats, A Rabbit of Consequence, which is my favourite name, and Fumbling Magician. And later in the video we will be talking about their blush, which I did buy in a sample, and I know I said before that I'm going to be buying a whole one, and I am. I just haven't got round to it yet. So we've got a whole bunch of blush and contour products on the table here to tell you about, and to put on my face, of course. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Right, so as I said, I've just got foundation and concealer on. Foundation is KVD Lock-It Foundation in, I think it's 42 light or fair or something like that, but it's 42 anyway, which, as some of you will know, is the answer to the question about life, the universe and everything. The answer is 42. Anyway, just rambling on there slightly, and those people that don't know what I'm talking about, it's from a book called The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. If you haven't read it, highly recommend. You'll have to excuse this lipstick. I'm not totally convinced by it. It's a Makeup Revolution Matrix something, and it takes about 2 years to dry down, so it is going all over my teeth, but I thought it was a nice colour, so if it does go on my teeth, you'll have to let me off. Right, so I've got my jar of brushes for my cream products and my jar of brushes for my powder products. As you can see, it's a lovely buffy jar, or pint glass. And because I haven't powdered down, my base products are settling into my lines, so I'll just blend them out fractionally. For concealer today I'm using the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate, which is in the shade C0, which is basically a white one, but it looks fine with this. And the first thing we're going to go for is my cream contour, which is this lovely e.l.f. putty bronzer that I use in the shade Feeling Shady, I think it is, and I've used quite a lot of it, as you can see. And to put it on, I use one of these little brushes. I'm never really sure what you're supposed to use with cream contour, so I just use a little round brush like this and just sort of stamp it on in what feels like it should be the right place. Now, the other thing about contour is that if you put some whiter or lighter concealer along your jawline just above the edge, it can emphasize what you actually are doing with your contour. So having stamped it on, I then attempt to blend it downwards into the rest of my face. As you can see, like so. Oh, there's a hair there. Sorry about that. And I mean, I'm not the world's greatest at this, because contour is just like a fairly recent invention as far as I'm concerned. So it's quite difficult to get right, I find. But especially with these cream products, I never used to use cream products. I don't know about you, but they always seemed pretty alarming and scary things. I've got it's not a spot, it's a cherry something. It's a skin thing. I'll look it up and put the name of it on the screen. I've got them all over my body. They're like little tiny cherry coloured circles, and they just appear from nowhere. Sometimes they disappear as well, but I'm going to put a little bit along here and going down backwards like that, just to hide my sagging jowls, and a teeny tiny minuscule amount on my nose. I mean, because if you get this wrong, then game over, man, game over. I've been watching too much Alien recently, as if there could ever be such a thing as too much Alien. Anyway, that is my only cream contour product. Sad but true. So we'll put the brush for that away. Cream blush, on the other hand, well, I've got these 3 Mitchell blushes in the shade Safe, which is the blue one, Happy, which is the purple one, and Respect, which is the green one. These are really nice. I mean, they don't come out like they look in the bottles. You really do have to build them up if you want them to get them like that. I've got 2 in tubes. One is B by Superdrug, and this is in the shade Berry, liquid blush that's called. And one by Makeup Obsession, which is in the shade Purple Dusk. So those 2 are sort of reasonably similar. And then my lovely, lovely Fenty cream blush in the shade Drama Class. Yeah, Drama Class. And when I open this, you'll see why I love it so much. It's beautiful. And I think this is the one we're going to go with. I've got this little NYX brush that's got sort of nobules on it that look like a little pussycat paw. I think that's why I was persuaded that I needed it, because it looked like a little pussycat paw. I don't know if you can see that, but it's so nice. So we'll get a little bit of this on there, and then just sort of, again, tap it on in a reasonably similar area to where you've got the contour, but just maybe lifting it above and bringing it round. And yeah, I mean, this will all look not quite so dreadful when it's powdered down. So that's the other thing to remember with cream products, is that they will lose a bit of their pigmentation if you are going to powder over them, which of course I am, and then try and obviously get them to look the same on both sides. This is such a lovely product. So expensive, mind you, but I did get it with a token last year. Yeah, last year, because I retired last year and I got a boots token from my work. Just put a bit under there. Yeah, so there's that. Let's take it out there. Let's try and blend it in if you can. I mean, I'm really awful at these cream things. I'm putting that out there just so you know. I really am not an expert with these at all. I've got a flat one for the other colours, and yeah, it's a thing. So then we're going to, I'm just going to put some, I've got a tea towel on my lap, and I also have here a delightful duster, because I do not want to get loose setting powder all over myself. And this is a KVD setting powder, which is also mixed in with some other setting powders that, you know, may or may not be cheaper. So I always start here for some reason, and as you can see, put copious amounts on. Bear with, and I'll be right back with you. And I don't know how people do their eyes first and then do their face, because there's so much that you end up going over. So wiggle it around until you've got the sort of depth of powder that you want. Wrinkly viewers will know that there's not much you can do about your under eyes. I've seen young people going, oh, use this, it looks so smooth. Well, yes, of course it does. You've got smooth skin. So there's that. And I still end up with it all over me. So the next thing to do is you sort of redo everything, but with the powder version of itself. So let's just quickly talk about powder contour. I happen to have a Freedom Cosmetics, which is no longer with us, palette, which, what shall I cover it up with? I'll cover the mirror up with this, and it looks like this. It's actually pretty good because it's a nice cool toned palette, and it's got a couple of light colours and highlighter there. I've also got, which I've wanted for a long time, the KVD Shade and Light palette, which looks like this. I mean, I'd really like that Lunatic Cosmetics contour slash eyeshadow palette, but obviously it's in America and it's way out of my price range, but it's just got some lovely colours in it. And I was put onto this Essence Contouring Duo palette by lovely Make Me Up Missa, and this is very good. So if you're on a budget, the Essence Contouring Duo, this is a great what's the word I'm looking for there, cool toned palette. 2 seconds. Throwing the brushes on the floor, and the brushes I like to use for these are these angled brushes. This is a Zoeva 128. Yes, 128. And I like to use this for contour. I also have this rather wonderful VE Cosmetics Graveyard Dirt. Now, could you imagine anything cooler than a loose contour powder called Graveyard Dirt? And I mean, this is going to last. This is probably going to outlast me because it is so pigmented. It's almost ridiculous, and it's very loose. and it's very cool toned, and all you need to do is put the tiniest, most minute bit on your brush, then brush it off on a tea towel or whatever, and then just find the hollow on your face and put it on. I mean, it really is an amazing product. It's lovely, so cool toned, so pigmented, such a wonderful tone to it. As I say, very, very pigmented. And what I then tend to do, instead of having a special nose contouring brush, I just squeeze it until it's thin. Not quite sure why that's happened. Stand by, and we're back. There we go. So what was I saying? Yes, you squeeze the brush to make it the shape you want it. And then contour your nose that way. There we are. Right, so powder blushes. Again, I haven't got like the world's supply. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 4 to show you because I really like these. And I have got the Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette, which I use for blush occasionally. I've also got the KVD Fetish palette, which has got some nice blushes in it. But on a day-to-day basis, I've got the NYX Sweet Cheeks in the shade Boom and Bloom, which is this lovely colour. I've got the Revolution Blushed Duo in the shade Wishful. Now, this has got a gold highlight in it, which I never touch. But this, if you're doing anything with a red lip or a red eye, this red toned blush is absolutely the bee's bollocks, I tell you. Really, really nice. There, look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? Actually, I'll just show you the colour of the NYX one while you're there, because that's a lovely colour as well. See? We also have the Revolution. This seems to be full of Revolution products, even though I don't really like them. This is the Blusher Reloaded in Viral Purple, and this is what this looks like. And this is just a delight. That looks like that. So I think we're going to go with that in a second. But as I say, I will give a huge shout out to the Crow and Pebble Forbidden Joys blush, which I have a sample of here. And it's in the shade Heavenly River, She Who Possesses Water. And it's just lovely. It's difficult to finagle when it's in a bag like this. Actually, I will have a go just because it's you. So I will take this, which I cannot tell you what sort of brush it is because it doesn't have its name on it. I will open up the little bag and get some on the brush. And there we go. You cannot have too much of this. It is a joy. It really is. I love it. I am going to buy the whole one in a pot as soon as I get round to it and have some money to spend, which I haven't at the moment. So there we go. Look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. With the Mitchell ones, I have been using just ordinary eyeshadows. So blue, purple or green eyeshadow to use as a blush. And eyeshadow as a blush, who knew? I mean, it's staring you in the face, literally, that's what you can do. And of course, how many of us have actually thought about it before it was brought to our attention? Not many. Now, I'm not doing highlights at the moment because I simply wouldn't have room on the desk to put all my highlights. So what I'm going to do is just use the highlighter from this Freedom palette just to give it a little bit of something. And I mean, it's really subtle. It's the subtlest highlighter in the history of subtle things. There we go. And that's in that Freedom Cosmetics, which doesn't exist anymore. But maybe if anyone wants me to do a special highlighter video, I can do one of them. But this is my contour and blush effort, specially requested by Goth Pink Power. Normally, if I'm at my actual makeup desk, I would be spraying myself with fixing spray, but I'm not. I'm in my filming area. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you, Goth Pink Power, for requesting it. Please, everybody, like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. I would be very, very grateful. If you'd like to buy me a Ko-fi, that would be a rather super thing for you to do. So the link is in the description, as always. And I will see you, let's see, possibly tomorrow, which is Halloween. So look out for a special video from me there. Take care, everybody. Look after your lovely, lovely pets and animals. Look after yourselves. And most importantly, stay strange. Bye for now, everyone.